Hey guys, my name is Leonardo Madrigal from Left Handed Matters, and today we're going to be reacting and analyzing We the Kingdom and Tasha Cobbs Leonard's Holy Water. This is going to be pretty cool because I know Tasha Cobbs is a great gospel singer-songwriter, and We the Kingdom, I have no clue. I don't know who they are. So this is going to be interesting. I want to dive into this and see what's going on. But before we do, if you're new to my channel, I'm a Christian singer-songwriter and producer myself. And I believe that no music is free from interpretation and analysis and critique, especially Christian contemporary music. So that's what mainly this reviews and reactions are going to be about. Just breaking down songs in the Christian music world and looking at it through a different lens, more like from a songwriter perspective or producer perspective, just because I know there's good music out there and I know there's pretty basic music out there, and I want to highlight those differences, which goes to my biggest disclaimer for the video. If you are easily offended or you're really sensitive when it comes to critiquing religious material or anything religious in general, this is probably not the video for you. But if you're excited to get in it with me, then welcome to this journey. I'm excited, so let's go ahead and just start off. Yeah, let's do it. It's a good look there.
God, I'm on my knees again. God, I'm begging, please again. I need you. Lord, I need you.
Very interesting voice. Wasn't really expecting that. Kind of has like the southern feel already. I really like what the piano is doing so far. He kind of looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
I need you. Yes, God, I need you. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like the sound of a symphony.
You know what she looks like? She looks like Haley from Bumblebee. You know the Bumblebee movie? I'm guessing this is going to be the chorus of the song. But they decided to do it a cappella. So they're just letting it slow burn up. It really sounded pretty good. I love when songs are not afraid to have like small silent moments in there. Because it actually is a lot louder than the loud moments in songs. So that's a pretty bold choice there. Let's continue.
My ears, like holy water on my skin. Yeah. And men walk enslaved to sin. I want to know about being born again. I need you. Oh Lord, I need you. So take me to the...
Okay, so far this is pretty basic stuff. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I'm not really paying attention to the lyrics that much, other than I just kind of hear like the I need you part, which is really cool. But so far I'm thinking the whole song is really pretty linear. I don't think it's being random as much as some songs can be. But that's a great tip when you're doing songwriting stuff, is not to be afraid of repeating certain lines at the end or at the beginning of verses and choruses, just because it really wraps up the song and keeps it central. A lot of music today, this is just in general, they have a title for a song, they have like a purpose for the song, a theme for the song, but they're just they just throw verses and lyrics that just don't fit in there, and it kind of defeats the purpose of the song. It's just kind of there for filler. And a great way to get rid of that is almost to kind of remind yourself as the writer and to remind the audience what the song is about. So yeah, never be ashamed of repeating lines in a song, kind of using them as like a hook into the next part. It keeps the song central, it keeps it tight, it keeps it from wandering off. This is really good stuff. I also like their little harmony here that they're doing.
Oh God, I need you. Your forgiveness. Oh yes it is. Like the sound of
there, that little piano thing going on there, I like that. It almost sounds like he messed up, but it's like a really nice bluesy lick. Listen to that one more time.
Sound of a symphony in my ear. It's like holy water on my skin.
So this is gonna be the bridge of the song.
On my skin.
So far, before they continue, so far the coolest thing that I see so far is the coolest thing that I see is everyone looks really happy. Everyone looks alive. They sound alive. They're all singing and swaying. That's really cool. You don't see that all the time. Sometimes you get these songs on the radio and they just sound so sad and so depressing. Like you hear it and it's just so slow and it takes forever to get anywhere. That's my biggest gripes about contemporary worship music. But this, it's already 2 minutes in, and they're already to the bridge of the song. Quick, concise, simple, but they're having fun. It's energetic. This is good stuff so far.
I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ain't, yeah. I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only...
Wait, okay, look at this guy's outfit. Okay, I'm being mean, but it's mainly the hat. You can do without the hat, my guy. You too, whoever you are back there. I don't know. Maybe it's the style back then. Maybe it's the style. You know, I don't want to be mean.
only thing that ever really makes me want to change. I don't want it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that the piano there is playing some really nice. It played like a passing chord to get onto that one. It's really simple, but it just adds so much. You would never hear that in a modern, kind of like soft rock contemporary.
Really makes me want to change. I don't want to abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that.
You don't understand how much flavor that just added to this song because it was kind of getting a little repetitive. But just adding in those little touches, those spices, really just brings out the character. It brings out the character of the musicians, which brings out the character of the whole song. Everyone's giving their all in this so far. You just want to add those tiny little elements. Don't step on people's toes, but just add it where it fits, and it just creates something beautiful.
Makes me want to change. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips.
They're having, I mean, this is the song that you would, yeah, they're all having fun. They're all jumping. Goes back to that silence part. So they built up and they're going back to the chorus and they decide to do the a cappella again instead of with the music, which is pretty cool. But this time you're hearing like the room, you're hearing the environment, you're hearing the stomps, you're hearing the claps, you're hearing the woos. You can actually hear the smiles when they're singing. It sounds wide and it sounds bright. It's really good stuff here. One thing that I really like, it doesn't sound so overproduced. It doesn't sound like everyone has like this crazy amount of compression. It doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like, there's no pads and swells and electric guitars filling in all this empty space. You would never quite hear that silence in a modern Christian. I say modern like as if this is from the past, but you would never hear that like in like the Hillsongs and Elevations, like these dead silent moments within their songs. It just makes your ears perk up when you hear that. It's really good stuff. That's a stink face. He loves that. He's getting into it.
It's like holy water on my skin. It's like holy water.
Yeah, I like his little pose. And then, yeah. Alright, so we have almost another 4 minutes left. So they're probably doing a reprise. This is really good stuff so far. So the song itself is about 4 minutes long. That's a good time. It keeps the attention span, and plus it's really repetitive. It's really inviting. That's a good thing about the song. It's so inviting and welcoming and warm. It just feels like you want to sing with them. Like the sweet, sweet water on my lips. It just kind of feels like, you know what I think of? I think of the movie Holes when I watch this. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's just kind of like this feel-good kind of like recreational type of song. Yeah, it's so far it's pretty good. I'm guessing they're gonna go through a reprisal of pretty much the whole song again, or if not, just the bridge, which is very common in contemporary Christian music. It just gives the audience, it gives the atmosphere almost like a second chance to get involved. Like, you've already heard the song, you already know the atmosphere, you know the attitude, and they're gonna die it down, they're gonna fade out, and then they're gonna bring it back in, and it's almost like a pool. It's like a pool, so that you can catch it this time. You know, like, you didn't miss out. We're doing it again. Like, you know, and that's pretty cool. A lot of churches do that. It's like, it's wherever the Spirit leads. It's wherever they want the direction of the song to go. That's really, really good stuff. So let's see where they can take it. Very beautiful. You kind of hear that swelling of the voices. High. Wow. One thing right off the bat, they're really taking their time with this. They really don't want to disrupt the flow. I know sometimes we can get caught up in a moment whenever I'm playing for church or I'm doing something live, where you think real quickly, like, I should do this part again, or I should let the music fade out a little bit more slowly this time, and then you just don't want to waste people's time. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. You don't want to waste their time, but also you don't want to lose their attention, kind of. And so I like how they're really just kind of letting it sink in. They're just riding it out. It doesn't matter how long they have to repeat it until they get going. But I love how natural it goes. That's a great songwriting tip there. Whenever you're writing something, let it be natural. Like, don't try to force something unless, you know, with context, unless that's exactly what the song is supposed to convey, like all these changing parts happening abruptly and that the audience is not being aware of. But when you're writing these verses, when you're writing these choruses, just let it flow into each other. Just let it flow natural. If the song is 6 minutes long, the song is 6 minutes long, but at least you didn't make a 3-minute song and wish that it had a part in there or had a build up in there that would have serviced the song a lot better. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright, so if you didn't catch it, basically Tasha Cobbs and Bumblebee, I don't know her name, they're like taking turns doing this improvisation kind of where the Spirit leads kind of vocals here. And it's really cool how they're not even stepping on each other's toes. It just flows really well. She does a couple bars, she lets it go. And then she does a couple bars and then she lets it go. Then it goes back to Tasha Cobbs. Again, there's probably a lot of practice in this. Obviously, there are really good stuff happening. But just because you're not going to always remember the same ad-lib, the same little vocal run. But just they're so in tune with each other, even if they have to give a look or something. It's really good stuff, how they're taking turns here. that engagement? Do you hear that? Oh, she was doing something. You hear that engagement? So once she goes woo, and everyone else goes woo, and then they capture it. I'm pretty sure there's like a microphone somewhere in the room that's just catching the ambience. But that's my favorite part about the song so far. It's that they're able to capture the church. They're able to capture the setting. Like I almost feel like I can envision myself being in there with them. Maybe it's because I'm watching it, but it just matches so well within the ears. Like you can almost hear the creaking of those pews. You can hear like the rustles in their clothes. You can hear the claps and them hollering and them swaying. It's almost like you can hear all that. That atmosphere, that environment. That's why a lot of churches, when they do albums, they like to do them live, just because it's getting the audience. It's almost electrifying, and it lifts up the song a little bit. It adds more excitement to it. It's really good production stuff going on. You can see the people in the background too. Real quick, I know this is a small nitpick. I'm not like clowning on this guy, and I do this all the time. But you see, like he has his tuner and his cable right there. If I were doing a video and I knew I was doing a video, I'd probably not have that on my guitar. I'd probably set it down on the amp or wherever chair it is. Just a small little nitpick. I'm not picking on the guy, I swear.
Makes me wanna change. I don't wanna abuse your grace. God, it's the only thing that ever really makes me wanna change. Your forgiveness, it's like sweet, sweet honey on my lips.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, that gave me a little bit of goosebumps. They built up this whole time. It was like 2 minutes of build up, and then they go to the acapella part again. That's really good stuff. They had a choice. They could have chose to build up and then go hard on the instrumentation, go hard on the singing, but instead they decided, let's give them like a false drop and let's take away those instruments and let's just do the acapella part again, and it's just a little bit more electrifying. Again, that silence is louder. It catches the attention a lot more than a big, heavy drop would have in the song. I think it would have served the same purpose, and people wouldn't think twice about it. But because they did this creative choice to put it in this song, it adds an element of like, join us, sing along with us. It's so much more inviting, and you can hear them having fun. Again, the audio is so great because you can hear all the small little interactions with every single choir member. It doesn't sound like someone's stepping over. There's always one person who's trying a little bit too hard. It doesn't sound like that at all. It just sounds like they're having fun, and it sounds like they're enjoying what they're doing. And that's...
It's like the sound of a symphony in my ear. It's like holy water.
Nice. Doing it again? Okay, no. They're gonna fade out. And then they bring back the swells from the... Nice. I'll let it ring out. Yeah, that was really good. I was really surprised by it. I didn't quite know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. Around the 2-minute mark, I thought it was gonna be pretty repetitive, which it was, but it was definitely not a bad experience listening to the song. They definitely threw in some little surprises, some spicy little notes in there that made it come alive. Again, the biggest strong suits of the song are, again, you have 3 talented singers. You had that guy, Tasha Cobbs, and then that girl. So sorry that I don't know the names. But they all did their thing, and they all fit their own little parts within the song without stepping on each other's toes, which was really great. The choir and the atmosphere that they were able to bring was something really, really exciting, because you don't quite get that all the time when you hear these kind of songs. Like you can sense it, you can feel it, but for some reason this one, especially when they did those like false drops and they did like the acapellas in the choruses, that really added a layer of like, I don't know how to explain it, just more movement, more dynamic, more there was more happening. It wasn't just another song that you repeat over and over again and then you forget about. This was a song where you can tell they were having fun and they were enjoying themselves. If I did have to do some small critiques, I expected more musically. The piano guy, he was obviously really, really good, but I don't think anyone would think twice or get mad at him if he just added more of those little flares, more of those little runs in the piano, especially towards the end when it was building up. I mean, that's your time to shine. And again, I understand it's supposed to be a more simpler song, and I know there's this, I don't know how to explain it. There's like this stigma where, you're not supposed to outshine God. I think that's baloney. God gave you these talents to do something with, and you're doing this for Him, for other people to see what God has done. And if you're holding back because you're afraid of stepping on people's toes, or you're afraid of shining out and blooming above the rest, I think you're doing a disservice to everyone who's listening. Now, I will say though, if you're holding back because it's not going to sound great, like it's just not the time, obviously if you're doing something slow or a cappella, you're not going to just start chopping away. But if when the energy is right, when the movement is going, when it's building up, there's who's got to get mad at you because you played some extra notes in there? No, I don't think so. I mean, if anything, I feel like God is tired of hearing these same old songs over and over again. I'm gonna shut my mouth before I get in trouble. But yeah, that's it was really good. That was my only critique. He could have done so much more. Again, everything else was so minimalistic. Even you saw that drum kit was minimalistic, so I wasn't expecting like these mega jump fills and everything. But it was that atmosphere and the attitude that carried the song for me. Yeah, it's definitely playlist ready. I'm gonna put this on there. So thanks for listening, guys. This is just kind of what goes through my mind when I'm watching these kind of things or hearing songs. It's not much, it's not a lot, but hopefully it's entertaining. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about it. And with that said, see you next time.